Hello everyone, welcome to the third video of the React Native series. In the last video we created a blank project, and in this video we'll go through our project folder structure and add some navigation to our application. So if we open a project here in VS Code and go to the app.js file, this whole code here is what's being imported from the new app screen, which is a default screen that comes with your React Native setup. So if we just get rid of all of this, let's do this. And we can get rid of that as well. All of that. Okay, I guess we can get rid of this whole section. Okay, the styling as well. So we basically want a clean project. So just get rid of everything else that's here. So if you're familiar with React.js, what you would have here instead, it would be like a div, and then you'd write your HTML code here, and then that HTML code is what would appear on a web version on your website if you are building a React website. But in this case, React Native doesn't support any web elements. So if you go to the React documentation, it's and you look for the supported elements here. So it's components. So if you look on your left here, you've got several components that you can actually use to React. Let's see where they. Oh, okay, components. So you've got activity indicator, buttons, list, images, and so on. So if you want to display text, you'd go into this text component here. And then let's wait for this to load. Okay, there we go. So essentially, if you want to display text, you're first going to have to import the text component here. And then we would have it in there. So for text, then you just simply say text, say hello world. And then now if we go to our application, as you can see, there's hello world there at the bottom. So it's a styling issue. Would have to bring that down. But basically, if you want to look for components that you got to add, let's say we wanted to add a button this time around, you just go here, button, then you import the button. So all the components will be imported from React Native. So let's say button. Okay, and say click. So as you can see, there's an issue here, like we're getting this weird error says JSX expressions must have one parent. Actually, you'd wrap your components in like a div, for example, and then you'd wrap everything in this division here. But in this case, since React Native doesn't support any web components, you'd have to use the view component instead. Okay, there we go. The title prop of a button must be a string. Oh, okay, I think we left out something there. Oh, okay. So button is instead supposed to have a title property there. So let's say click me. Okay, there we go. Then as you can see, we have the button here. So to fix the styling in this case, to add some styling to your view in this case, you'd use regular CSS, but there's a bit of a slight difference. If you're writing CSS in this case, you'd have to use camel casing. So let's see how we go about adding styling to our application. So let's see. So we'll have to import this style sheet from our React Native. and I think that's already imported. So you've got style sheet there. Then you're going to have to create the style object. So if you scroll down here, we're simply going to copy this section here and then paste it in there. Okay, so to create a style, so we're going to create some styling for our main view here. So we can name it main view. Okay, then we're going to say style equals, then we'll say styles dot main view. So that means this view here is going to have the styling that we're going to put in here. So all the styling that we applied into this object here is going to be applied to our view. So now what we need from our view, as you can see, we'll need a margin from the top there to bring everything down first. So it's margin top. As you can see, the styling names, it's a bit different from regular CSS, whereas you would have in the browser, for example, you would have margin dash top. Instead, in this case, you need margin and then a capital T top. So let's make it 20. There's no need to add like 20px or anything. You're just gonna say 20 and then it'll be applied. So as you see, it has moved down. Let's bring it down a bit more, 40. Okay, there we go. So now, if we want to center everything, we can simply use flexbox. So in this case, we'll just say flex 1. Okay, flex direction. We'll make it column. Then we'll justify our content center. And then it brings everything into the center. And then we can align all our items in the center as well. Align items, center, and then that should align everything in the middle. So if you want to apply styling to your components, essentially you're going to you will import your style sheet from React Native, and then it's going to be, you're going to have this component, this section here, const styles equals to style sheet.create, and then you create all your styles here. So if we wanted to apply some styling to our text, for example, we'll simply add text style. Okay, then let's say color is blue. So that means here you'll come and say style equals, then you call your style z dot text style, and then our hello world text will have changed to blue. So if I go into my emulator now, as you can see, it has changed to blue. And I think you can also add your hash codes there. So if you want it to be black, for example, you can just type in hashtag 000 and the color should change, or you can make it white as well, and in this case it won't appear. But yeah, that's pretty much how you go about adding styling. So you need a main view element. You can also have a scroll view. I think that's also something that's available. Let's see. Yeah, scroll view. So if you have content that goes all the way to the bottom and you have to scroll, you can use this as your main view instead, and then you can have it there. Yeah, but that's pretty much it with the application. I guess in the next section we'll look at navigation. The previous section, we had a look at our app.js file, and so what we have here is simply one screen with a button, a click me button, and a text element in it there, which is hello world. But obviously, as most applications go, yeah, you'd need more than one screen. And if we go back to our application here in XD, we can see that we have like a main screen here, we have a sign up screen, we have a sign in screen, we have a home page, and so on. So in this next section, we're just going to go through how we can go about creating several screens in our application. So if we go back to the application here, in this main directory, we're going to create a folder. We can call it screens. Okay, so in the screens folder, so first of all, let's see, if we go back to XD, let's first create files for the sign in and sign up page. So let's create those two files here. So we can say new file, sign in.js. And then essentially all the files, they'll follow the same format. So first thing is import React from React. Okay. And then secondly, we're just gonna write out our function here. So it's sign in, then return. So the return will have like all the content that's going to be returned essentially. So if we're returning text, for example, we're going to have to import text from React Native. Okay. So let's say text. What do we call this? Let's just say sign in. And then we're going to export this, sign in. So that means now if we go into our app.js, we can import all the screens that we'll need here and then display them depending on certain conditions that we added. So for example, if someone is logged in, we display certain screens. If someone is logged out, we display the sign in and the sign out screen. And then in the next section as well, we'll go through how to navigate from one screen to the other. So if here I just go import, in this case, we import whatever we're exporting from this file, which is sign in. Okay, probably from, and then we import from screens and sign in. So in this case, you can simply have your sign in page here. So let's say sign in. And now if we go back to our element, as you can see, we have that sign in text at the top, and then we can move our styling to that page. Let's just move all of this. Okay. Okay, let's just wrap this in a view. Then we can add our styling here. Styles dot main view. Okay, there we go. And then we have our sign in text there. So we can have another screen, sign up screen. Just name it sign up.js, and we import React from React, and also import our components, text and view from React Native. Okay, there we go. And we'll need our style sheet as well here. So I guess here we can just copy this, pretty much the same. And we change this to sign up. So let's import sign up here. So now I can disable the sign in and then display sign up. Right, so we've got sign up, and then if we, and then it's sign in if we change it to sign in there. So if you want to navigate between the two pages, for example, so if a person wants to navigate from sign in to sign up, then we need to add some logic for that. But in this case, let's start with adding a button to our sign in page. Then our text will be go to sign up. Okay. Title part must be a string. What did we leave out there? Oh, title. Okay, there we go. Go to sign up. So when we click this now, what should happen it should take us to our sign up page. So now, in order to add the navigation, what we need to do is navigate over to React Native reactnavigation.org. So this site here, and then if we go onto our docs, get started. So let's go ahead and install this package here. Okay, so cd into your awesome project, and then we'll just type in that, and let's just add sudo. Okay, what's next here? And if you're running it in Expo, you're going to have to install these dependencies here as well. So you're going to have to copy this command and run it. And then if we running using npm, I guess we just, using the React Native CLI, we're just going to copy this command here to install the same dependencies. Okay, so that's been installed, and then we're going to run this now. And then once that is done, we're going to have to cd into our iOS project and then run this command to install all the pods via CocoaPods. Okay, so let's cd into iOS. It's just having a bit of an issue here. So I think you can actually, this command here, the npx pod install, I think you'd run that in the main directory, so awesome project. But if you're in the iOS directory, you'd go iOS, you can just run pod install instead. Yeah, there we go. So I guess this would be run in the main directory, and then when you're in the iOS directory instead, you're gonna run pod install. Okay, pod installation complete. Now let's see how we can go about actually creating the navigation in our application. Okay. Section, we added the React Native navigation package. So now to actually create the navigation, what you'll want to do, we'll go into our app.js file, then remove this section there. So here we're going to import this line here. First of all, we're going to have to import this line and then add it to our very top. Okay. And then next thing is import that. And let's get that into our application. Okay, there we go. So once that is done, I guess when you go to the next step here, we'll need to install this again. So React Native stack navigation. So let's just install that. And then it says here, so this relies on one of the dependencies we installed in the previous section. So that has already been installed, so no need to mind this. So if we just install that again, install that. Did we install that in the right directory? Okay, let's just try again. Okay, just same thing. So now if we, after installing that, we're gonna have to import, it says here, import create stack navigator from React navigation stack. So essentially, when we import this stack navigator, basically what happens is React will create a stack of screens. So if we move from home screen to the let's say home screen to music screen, it's going to create a stack, and that stack will have home screen first, and then on top of that it will have music screen. So if you go back one level back in the stack, which will be home, it will just go back to the previous screen. So it creates a stack, and the more screens you navigate to, the stack kind of just gets bigger and bigger. So as you go back, it will go back to the previous page and the previous page within the stack. So let's just try that. So we create this stack there. Let's put it there. Okay, and then let's copy this section there. So in our stack, in this case, we're gonna have two screens at the moment, which will be login, or I mean sign in and sign up. So we'll give it a name. First name of our stack, or our stack screen will be sign in, and then the component for that specific screen will be the sign in screen that we created. So it will be this screen here, and all it has is like a sign in text and the button that says go to sign up. Okay, there we go. And then we have another screen and says sign up. Just change that to sign up. So by default, the first screen in our stack will be the sign in screen. So by default, our application will go to Metro build and disconnected. So let's just start that again. Okay, so we just need to reload this. Okay, I was looking for that. Shake, reload. Okay, require array screen was not found in UI manager. Okay, so I think we're gonna have to rebuild our application. So let's just say product, clean build, and okay, then build. Okay, build succeeded. Let's just run it again. Okay, there we go. So what should happen now, our app will default into the sign-in screen. And then when we go to the sign-in screen, we'll just add a function on the button that we have. Wait, sign in. Yeah, we'll just add a function on this button so that it navigates to the sign up screen. Okay, let's just wait for that. Yeah. So essentially, by default, as you can see, we're in this sign-in page of our stack. And when you navigate to another screen, you'll see the update here. It will show you the name of the screen up there. So let's just add the function to actually navigate between pages. So if we just go onto React navigation, it says here moving between screens. So I think it should be somewhere at the bottom. Where is it? Okay, so if we go to our sign-in screen, yep. So here we're just gonna add this prop here, navigation. So I think this is a default parameter that's passed into each stack screen in this case. So in each screen that we add, each screen will get this property here called navigation. So now if we want to navigate from one screen to the other, we're just going to have this on press on our button. So let's say on press. See, what does it say? Okay, navigate details. So you can simply write out your function here, but you could also just maybe let's write it here instead. Const navigate. Okay. So you can write out your navigation function here, or you can write it in here. I prefer having it in here. So this is more or less the same as just writing function, and then you have your function name there. Yeah. So either way, you could go for either option, and then in this case, we're just saying navigate. And then we're just gonna call this property here, navigation dot navigate, and then we specify the name. And the name that we're navigating to should be within one of our, well, it should be the name of one of our screens here. So it will have to be the name of sign up. Okay. Then now if you click on sign up there, then it takes you to your sign up page. So now, as you can see, the previous page in our stack is sign in. So if I go back to sign, it will take me back. And then this is the first page in our stack. That means there's no other page to go back to. And yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to navigation. And then in the next tutorial, what we're going to cover, we're going to be building out our UI for our main layout here, our sign up screen and our sign in screen.